Hello, everybody. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor. We're getting breaking Kevin Feige news. That's right. Kevin Feige was just announced as the new Chief Creative Officer of Marvel. He will now oversee all creative story initiatives. I mean, this isn't that surprising to me. This seems like, they got to give him something. When you have someone that talented involved in your company, you got to keep giving him something. He can't be the head of Disney. He can't be the head of Star Wars. They can dangle some Star Wars to keep him interested. But what studio in the world doesn't want to get Kevin Feige? So in order to keep a Kevin Feige, aside from money, he wants credit. And so they're stepping up and giving him credit. So now he's finally earned all Marvel. So TV shows, all under his watch, movies, and now comics. He can really do whatever the hell he wants in the Marvel universe. This is creatively, this is a pretty big deal for him. But not a surprise to me. He's now become the head of Marvel, if you really think about it. And his oversight will extend overall creative direction of all of Marvel storytelling, content and creation platforms, Marvel TV, animation, Marvel Family Entertainment. All will be under Feige's Marvel Studios banner. It's apparently finalizing this week. And obviously, as they even say, it would make sense since his oversight even further than it stretches now. He was a major presence at all these sort of big Disney events. And he reports to Alan Horn and Alan Benjamin, not to Iger. I suppose they go to Iger. I remember watching an interview with Iger. He's actually, Bob Iger is a pretty good interview. If you haven't watched some of his interviews about the book, dude's a smart guy. Gave some really interesting feedback. But anyway, he talks about how there's only 12 people that really report to him. Which is interesting out of all of the things of Disney. And that's how he runs the ship, because he needs people to be there to do the job. Because he was interviewed by Oprah, I think it was. And Oprah was like, well, how do you do it all? And he's like, I just hire the right people. You can't run theme parks and everything. You can't do it all. Of a business of Disney's magnitude, you need to hire smart people who you can let go do their thing. And then you check in with help them how they need to run the ship. So clearly they know Feige is now doing Marvel so well that he's earned this. Without them, Marvel's comic sales would be down. Everything would be down. Marvel Studios has reinvented the whole brand. So you got to give him props, and this makes total sense. This isn't that surprising to me, but it'll be interesting to see how this nets out and what Feige does. At the same time, it's interesting because he's now going to produce and develop a Star Wars film. So he's clearly getting his tentacles in other pieces of Disney creative. But this new Phase 4, the Disney Plus TV shows, these are going to be critical times for him that they all need to sort of succeed. And the Disney Plus stuff, we won't really know the numbers or how successful it is. They're going to keep that under wraps just like Netflix, I would imagine. But the Disney execs will know how successful they are. So Feige's got, he's got a lot of pressure on him. This to me just screams of reward. And I think it's dangerous only in that how much can he oversee? You don't want to get too bogged down in now 10, 12 TV shows that then the films lose track. This is a lot to now juggle. But the comics did it, but even the comics got silly. I'm not I haven't read every comic in the world, but some of those multi-issue runs get really complicated. So it's smart though that he can sort of do it, but now that it's going to be a part of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and everything that Marvel makes is going to potentially have a similar through line. That's a lot of stuff to work on, and it could wear thin. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. I think he's earned the right. We'll see if he can keep the right. But it's also sort of sweet revenge for him, because I also saw here that he's still, the comics and such will still be under Marvel Entertainment, where Ike Perlmutter remains chairman. And everything I've ever read is that Ike Perlmutter is just a complete jerk. This is where the most struggles have come out of Marvel between Ike and Kevin Feige. And so for this move to sort of happen and have him be president, be in charge of it while then he's still the president, it'll be interesting to see what that actually means. This to me screams like they're both sort of letting them have stake, but this move is clearly like Kevin's in charge. Kevin's in charge of the creative, and I'm sure all these people will think they're in charge, but the writing's on the wall that Kevin Feige is now the master of Marvel. He already has been, but now it's official, and Disney has made it. What do you guys think? Do you think that this is a rightful thing? Do you think this is too much for one person to handle? I don't think it is. Look at Bob Iger. He handles all of Disney. There's no reason Kevin Feige can't start hiring more people to oversee his visions and oversee them. That's how any good business person does. And that's when I was sort of going up and doing my own thing. I learned you got to put people in charge of shows and things you've made because at some point you got to let it go and see that other people can make it. And it's scary because then they can just take it from you because you've trained other people how to do it, which happens too. Usually, you hope to keep your legacy going strong, and I think Feige will. So he's got no problem with that. He's going to hire out the right people. Things are going to work well, and I think this is a good move for Marvel and Feige. So again, what do you guys think? Hit me down in the comments down below. Also, sub news if you didn't do it. This wasn't worthy of its own episode, but I did see that Venom 2 also. Carnage is getting company because, as we know, spoiler alert from Venom 1, Woody Harrelson's playing Carnage. And they've now added a second Marvel villain, Shriek, Carnage's love interest. Again, don't know what this means. It's sort of rumored, but Deadline has 2 sources confirming, so it's pretty straight up. But I would really rather see Feige take charge of Venom because it has so much potential, right? And I just worry Sony's going to mess it up. I like that they brought on, what's his name? Andy Serkis. I like Tom Hardy. I like Woody Harrelson coming in, and I just hope Tom Holland's going to intersect there too. But it is sort of frustrating that Sony still has this sort of, we can do what Feige's doing and do this whole world. They can't unless they have a visionary like Feige did. Like Feige really oversaw that from a decade ago and pulled it off. And granted, there were falters along the way, but Sony desperately needs an overseer like this. So the fact that Sony apparently caved, which was surprising to me, to sort of give in to Marvel and get that deal going. Now they're doing Venom 2. I just wish and hope Feige can have some oversight in this too to make sure that they don't go super crazy in the wrong direction with this. So Venom 2 news with this new casting, not really much to say there except for it'll be interesting to see what happens. But I hope Feige can help bring some interesting, bring that together. If you almost want him to be involved in even a slight way, even if he's not officially in charge of the Spider-Verse, if they're coming back for that third Spider-Man movie and hoping to do more after that, you would think even Feige would want to sort of just be like, can I see the script for Venom 2? Okay, can you just make sure you guys do this for the future of Spider-Mans that I want to do? I would think even Feige would want to do that. He's got enough money and pressure, talent, stuff to be in charge of. But to know that Sony can go and make now Venom moves without Feige's guidance, and that can sort of screw up the whole direction of where Spider-Man and Marvel are going, that's troubling to me a little bit because I want them to be cohesive. At the same time, I've defended Sony and I'm for Sony doing their own Spider-Verse if they have a strong visionary and they haven't sort of announced like Lord Miller overseeing the Spider-Verse or, the director of Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse is now overseeing Spider-Verse live action. They need to show the fans that they have some direction and plan or I'm worried we're going to be in trouble. So TBD, we'll see what happens. Big news for Feige. I'll keep you posted as more Venom 2 news drops. But that's all I got. Thank you again for watching. As I do a second outro here, again, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Andy Signor. Please go hit me up on Instagram at Andy Signor. I got some stuff brewing there. I just did a live stream, and I can interact with you guys live. I want to do some movie versus movie debates like I do there in my stories. There's a lot of fun stuff I'm building over there. So if you're watching this, you got this far, and you do one thing for me at the end of this video, go hit me up on Instagram at Andy Signor. Please follow. I'll follow you back. I'm following people back to sort of keep in the loop with my fans. So please follow me there. Thank you so much for the support. I'll be back with more videos tomorrow, and join us Thursday, 9 p.m. live. Bye, everybody.